Hello everyone, and this is my review for TNA Impact Wrestling on June 26, 2014. And right from the get-go, I will say that the matches for this show were fairly entertaining. As a matter of fact, I actually liked the aspect that they started the show off with a match versus just a promo. Like you see on every other wrestling show, you always start with a promo right away instead of just right to the action. And the Knockouts title tag match was actually a pretty good match. The X Division Fatal 4-Way title match was really good as well, fairly enjoyable, good spots. And the Brand Magnus and Abyss Willow match was Monsters Ball match was actually a fairly good match as well. Though I'm not a big fan of the Willow character, at least it was a fun and entertaining match to watch, and I'm really hoping they just get rid of the Willow character here in the near future. But outside of the matches that I felt were enjoyable, it brings us to what is basically the whole downside. What I felt was it just took way too much time of the show. It was the whole MVP Dixie Carter, control over TNA storyline, which I've not really been carrying over, and it just takes way too much time up of the show. And again, this week it just took up way too much time of the show. You had MVP starting off after the opening tag match and doing the celebration for Bobby Lashley winning the title and everything. This eventually led to Bobby Roode and Eric Young coming out. Now, this promo would have been really good if they didn't bring out the lawyer then, saying that MVP was no longer director of wrestling operations, everything like that. Now, granted, that's not necessarily, like, for storyline, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I've not really liked him in this role in any way. So it's nice to see they're getting him out of there. It just took up way too much time. Obviously, when they bring out a lawyer-esque figure, or somebody who is not typically used to being on the mic, it just comes off as really bad. And it came off really bad again here. I did like Bobby Roode's promo about about everything that he was going through, being suspended, and he didn't care anymore. He was just going to come in anyway. That was actually a really good portion of the promo. This eventually led to Dixie Carter thinking that she was taking over control of over TNA, so she's out there getting ready to celebrate, and that led to that same lawyer coming back out and saying no, she wasn't the one. And this segment in general just felt like it was a complete waste of time. They could have done this in a backstage 1 minute-esque segment instead of taking up a good 10-15 minutes, and obviously eventually leading to a Bully Ray teasing putting her through the table, which they haven't done yet. And she ends up getting saved and getting out of there. I felt like it was just a complete waste of time. I like Bully Ray. He's great on the mic. He's been really good in the ring over the past few years, but this just seems to be a waste at this point. Which they did a few other vignettes backstage. MVP trying to confront the new person, the new person in control, and then they end the show with. I feel like they should have ended the show with the Monsters Ball match, but they end the show by having the new person in control come out, which was eventually Kurt Angle. And this isn't a bad role for Kurt Angle at this time in his career, because he can't really do that much more in the ring. He has a knee injury, and they need to put him on the camera. So I don't like the aspect that he's part of this whole power struggle storyline. But if they wanted to put him on camera for anything, this was probably the best way of doing it, because he can't really necessarily be a manager for anybody. But like I was saying before, maybe not the execution of the entire thing was poor. I just didn't really like how much time it took up in the show. It took up a great chunk of time throughout the show, them going through both those segments and then backstage vignettes for it as well. And they could have used that time for other areas. The other thing that I felt just took way too long, though it wasn't a bad brawl by any stretch of the imagination, was the EC3 Tommy Dreamer brawl. It just felt like it's like after a good 5 minutes of it, it just felt like it dragged on and on and on and on. It just did not seem to. It seemed to get more boring and didn't feel like it was going to end. It seemed like it took forever, even for the for referees to get out there to break it up. It felt like it just took way too much time. It just felt like it dragged on and on. Overall, I felt this Impact was far more entertaining than last week's Impact. I am gonna like the aspect that Bobby Lashley is the champion at this point in time, just because yes, it's an ex-WWE guy having the title again, but it has a better potential for grabbing people to watch versus where Eric Young was at that point. And I never really believed much with Eric Young becoming world champion because he had played this comedy character for so long, and all of a sudden he's just completely serious. It's going to take more time for Eric Young to be in this serious character to be fully taken seriously versus his comedy shtick that he had been doing for so many years. And yeah, but overall, I felt the show was a lot better than last week's. Certain things did still kind of put me off, but it wasn't that bad this week. So this is my review for TNA Impact, and I thank you guys for watching.